Hello, and welcome to Under Further Review. I know you guys weren't expecting to see my beautiful face here today, but if I'm going to come and give you guys some content on a day other than a Friday afternoon and don't include my brother Brandon Boykin, I have to bring an even more beautiful person along with me. And today I have my wife. We're recording this on Valentine's Day, so we figured it would be pretty cool to have my better half come along and just share a little bit of her story and give you guys some insight into what it's like to be married to Christopher Burnette. So should be really fun. I want to introduce her really quickly. She is literally, and this is, I'm not just saying this because I'm on camera, the best thing that ever happened to me.
Thank you.
The greatest grace that God has given me is blessing me with this beautiful woman here. She is one of the most intelligent people I've ever met, the most hardworking person that I know, and that's not a joke. I'm not just saying that. She's literally the hardest working person I know. She's the most loyal, holds me accountable so well, and is just someone who's so generous with her
Thank
love
you.
and kindness to me. And also, she's hilarious. So hopefully, I'm gonna try to make her show a little bit of that side today. But we wanted to do something quick. So again, to my beautiful wife, Arielle Burnette, thank you for joining Under Further Review.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Yeah, yeah. So we really wanted to just start off hitting on some things that we typically do. This podcast is really hitting on sports, culture, and all things in between. So I guess it would only be right to start off with a sports question. A lot of people know Arielle, but they don't know that she actually is an athlete, or I guess was an athlete. I don't know how you would say that, but she is a national champion, and I know that y'all are probably shocked by that one. So I just want to open the floor to her and just tell us a little bit about your career as an athlete.
Yeah, sure. I started playing volleyball when I was in the sixth grade and really played up until my senior year. After my senior season, I stopped playing, decided not to play in college. But yes, we did win national championship, or we did win a national championship. We played in the Junior Olympics when I was, I believe, in the 10th grade, and our team won JOs, is what we called it for short. So yeah, I mean that was a pretty great run. It was really fun. I mean, we were young, so
Yeah.
I don't think we really realized like how big of an accomplishment that was, but it was super exciting. And um, Plant High School. I'm from Tampa. Plant High School won several state championships while I was playing as well. So I mean,
Wow.
it was a pretty fun time in my life. I by no means was the top player on the team, but I contributed.
Yeah.
I played. I started several years and loved volleyball. But yeah, being a national championship was great. I wanted to ask you though, have you ever been a national champion?
Wow. Wow. You know the answer to that question. I am an SEC East champion, though. So some of y'all will can attest to that. 2012, we got robbed. We were so close.
Yeah, that was a tough game.
Yeah, it was very difficult. But no, I've
Yeah.
never been a national champion.
All right.
So
Thought we might be able to relate.
no, not at all. So y'all clearly can see, like, just visually, but also from accomplishment standpoint, I'll kick my coverage. She is way more just polished than me overall.
Thanks.
But I know you talked about volleyball. Was that the only sport that you played, through grade school and high school?
No, I played basketball and I was actually much better at basketball than I was at volleyball. Volleyball was not, I wasn't that good at it. I mean, people talk about having natural ability. I feel like when Chris was speaking about hard work, like my brother, I have a younger brother. We call him Little Anthony, even though he's like 27 years old.
Yeah, he's not little.
He's not little anymore. But he had natural raw talent. Anything I do in life, I have to work really, really hard at. I don't really have a lot of natural talent, especially when it comes to sports.
That's a lie.
Well, it fuels me to work really hard. I guess I should say. I don't know how to make that work. But to answer your question, I played basketball. I was actually really good at basketball. I practiced a lot with my dad. My dad played basketball growing up, played a little bit in college as well. And so I liked basketball and I enjoyed playing the game, but I didn't love it the way I loved volleyball. So for me, especially growing up at the time, there really was no question. You know, I played volleyball, I played basketball. I was better at basketball, but I loved volleyball, so volleyball it was. And once you get to high school and you're starting to play year round, I just feel like you have to make a decision, at least in our sport.
Yeah.
So I played volleyball mainly, and I did run track a little bit in high school. I dabbled a little. I
Wow.
wasn't.
Hey, trifecta. Yeah,
Not the
three-sport
greatest.
athlete.
But anyway, yeah. To answer your question, I played basketball and volleyball, but loved volleyball. So
Yeah.
what about you? Did you play anything other than football? I mean, I know you liked football, but I feel like your love might have been somewhere else.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy to think that you had to make that decision at one point where you went from saying, hey, I'm more naturally gifted at this sport, but I am less naturally gifted at another one and I love it more, so that's the route I'm going to go. I actually did the exact opposite, and I made that decision in the seventh grade, or I guess
Seventh
after
grade?
the seventh grade. Yeah.
Oh wow.
I growing up. I had Osgood Slaughters, and I don't know if you guys know what that is, but it's a little bit of a just a growth um, disease. It's not really a disease, but it's a disorder in your body where your ligaments just are too elastic as you're growing, and you have some issues with your growth plates and things like that. And it was taking a toll on me in basketball. I loved basketball. I was obsessed with basketball. My wife can attest to the fact that loved Kobe, loved Shaq, loved MJ. Like those are the guys that I wanted to be as a kid. But as I was kind of struggling through that growth phase, a lot of my talent just kind of went away. I went from being the best player on the team to being a guy who was a starter, but he wasn't that dominant. And my personality just wanted to be the best at everything. And football was the game I was just more naturally gifted at. Obviously, I knew I wasn't going to be 7 feet tall. I was never going to jump 40 inches like Jordan. So I knew I had to kind of make a shift. I wanted to make it to the pros more than anything, and I made that decision in seventh grade. My dad kind of gave me that ability, and so made the switch. Loved football. Just kind of put in all my effort, time, love into that, and I think it wound up paying off. But one time I got to my junior and senior year, I actually started throwing shot put a little bit, and I actually won my region and went to the state and finished dead last. So I tried to dabble in multiple sports, but football was definitely my main thing for sure. But I feel like for you, it was an easier decision, at least, just to kind of transition from something you were a little bit more gifted at. But if you were to if you were to go back in time, do you feel like you would have switched what you would have done? Do you feel like you could have gone further and maybe played in college with volleyball, or tried to go further in college in basketball, or what are your feelings around that?
Yeah, I mean, I could have played post high school. I could have played volleyball post high school. I decided not to. I'd been playing since sixth grade. I really wanted to see what else I could do. When I ended up going to Florida State, go Noles, loved my time there, loved the opportunities I had, and the things I did when I was in college, I could not have done as an athlete. And so
True.
I don't, I could I have gone further playing basketball? Maybe I would have had maybe stronger opportunities, maybe more D1 opportunities. I definitely think I was better at the sport, and if I would have put the work in behind it, maybe could have gone further. Maybe I would have wanted to go further because it would have been easier to go further at schools that I really, really wanted to go to. But I don't, I don't regret it at all. I don't think that the decision, for women's sports, I think for men, I think almost in all sports, you can say, okay, I'm going to go play this professionally.
Yeah.
For volleyball, unless you're going overseas, really, there's really not a lot of opportunities in the States.
Unfortunately,
so, yeah. So, I mean, it was like, okay, if I go to college, I'm going to play, get a free ride maybe, and then that's it. And I just, I was done after high school. And I don't regret it. But, maybe if I would have played basketball, I would have been able to go further, better schools. But at the same time, I didn't love it, so I probably wouldn't have continued anyway.
Yeah, I think you made the right decision. No regrets, y'all. You can't regret any decision you make, especially when you're as great as Arielle. So.
Oh my goodness.
But no, I think that was really good, and I'm glad that just to hear and feel that you don't feel any of that sense of what if
Yeah.
at all.
I
Because I
mean,
know that's easy to creep up on people for sure. So
do you think that your decisions with football led you to have what ifs now?
um, I mean, I think some of the decisions I made during my football career probably had a little bit of what if. Just some of the smaller stuff on the front end. You just say, oh, maybe I took my nutrition a little bit more seriously in
Mm.
middle and high school. Do I play a different position?
Mm.
And does that wind up making me not go to college? Because I really wanted to be a D lineman, and I don't think I would have been as suited for that. My
Yeah.
dad really kind of forced my high school coach's hand to move me to the offensive line my
That's
sophomore
a good
year.
move.
So I don't. I mean, it's stuff like that I feel like, man, that could have been a big difference. Or maybe I chose to go to Stanford. My mom really wanted me to go to Stanford instead of going to Georgia. You think about things like that, or even just post college, like continuing to see it through a little bit further with the NFL and just the what ifs of the financial implications, or even just the injuries that could have occurred beyond that. So
Hmm.
it's definitely something to wrap my brain on, but I try not to live too much in the past. I know you probably think I'm lying because we talk about this all the time.
I have
But
no comment.
yeah, I appreciate you not putting me on Front Street today.
Yeah.
But I know we talk about sports a lot here, but we also try to hit on the whole person, and also
Mhm.
it only be appropriate since it's Valentine's Day to just talk about love. So I guess my question for you would be, just what is your definition? Like, what do you feel like the true definition of love is?
Mhm.
I feel like there's a right answer, so the pressure's on. But I do think that there's a lot of answers out there,
Yeah.
and I know we're on the same page. But we'd love to hear your thoughts.
You know, I don't know that I can eloquently define love, but I do feel that in all relationships, friendships, um, I guess, family relationships with your spouse or your significant other, I feel like love is just a never ending cycle of forgiveness. Um,
Wow.
I feel like when you love someone and you want someone to be in your life and you care about someone, you have to be able to forgive. And I think that there is no love without forgiveness. I mean, when you love someone and you care about someone and you expect things from
Mm,
someone, it is inevitable that they're going to let you down. And not because they don't care or because they don't want to make you proud or they're not trying to make you happy, but I think we're human, and I think sometimes we don't always share our expectations with others. I think I was very guilty of that in my friendships, probably still am. In our relationship, I
mm-hmm.
mean, with my familiar relationships, I feel like love is forgiveness, and
Wow.
I think that to me is a definition of it because the people that are in my life, I want them to be in my life, and to be quite honest, there's nothing that they can do that, barring extremes, that would make me not forgive them. And even then, I still think I would forgive. So I don't know,
Right. I
but
don't know. Yeah.
that's my answer.
Wow. See, y'all see who I married here. She said, I can't give an eloquent answer. And she gave an incredible answer. I did not expect that
Mm.
response. Love is, what is it? Everlasting forgiveness or consistent forgiveness?
Something like that.
Yeah, yeah. Close enough.
Close enough.
But I feel like that's beautiful. And honestly, I'd have to agree because I know that God is love,
Mm-hmm.
and both of us being followers of Jesus and knowing what the Father did for us, and really in eternity past, but also in current state, like
Mm-hmm.
is consistent and constant forgiveness,
Mm-hmm.
even more than we even deserve, and He set the benchmark for what true love looks like. So
Yeah.
that's a beautiful answer.
Thanks.
I guess I guess since we're talking about love, we didn't even hit on this, but this is actually our 11th year
Mm.
on the day being in a relationship together.
Yeah.
So did you want to tell a little bit about just our first year dating, our first year of marriage? Any like specific memories that come to mind that you can tell the audience about how great I
uh,
am?
it's crazy that today is 11 years. I think sometimes I forget that you asked me on Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
Chris was really sweet. He spent a lot of time. He made an entire website. I was supposed to actually come to Athens that weekend, but there was a snowstorm in Athens. Being from Florida, I didn't want to take the risk. I think he had actually cut out hearts in however many languages.
I don't even remember.
There was a ton of hearts. There were a lot of hearts.
Yeah.
And
I
was
think it
gonna
was
ask me.
68 actually.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. And was gonna ask me with the hearts, but since I didn't come, he created this whole website, and it was called The Beauty and the Beast. I was the beauty, he was the beast, and it was really sweet. It was a really great indicator. I had never really had a serious boyfriend until Chris. I hadn't really dated consistently or anything like that. So
I don't know how that happened.
the bar, he really from the jump set the bar really high. So I think that's. I wish we still had the website. We were broke in college.
I know.
So
I couldn't maintain
gone.
that.
All $5 a month.
Hey, that $5, I felt it every time it came out of that bank account.
Yeah, but I mean, I think there's so many memories. The first year of dating, I think I lived in New York for part of it, and then I moved to Atlanta. So we didn't really see a lot of each other.
Yeah.
I think we saw each other maybe 6 to 8 times the first year of dating, which is absurd. But somehow we wanted to make it work. And I think that's what you have to remember in relationships. Like, I think a lot of times people want to force it, or they feel like they're not going to find someone else, or they feel like, it's if it doesn't work out with this person, it's not going to work out ever. And when you want something to work, especially for the ladies, like, that person is going to pursue you, and they're going to pursue you consistently. And I think that is what I will always remember. It's what I will, should we be blessed with children, is what I will tell my daughters. Like, it's important to know your worth. And I think Chris always, and has always, for the majority of the time, has always reminded me of my worth and the things that he's done and how he's treated me. So I would say that first year of marriage just kind of really set the tone for that. I mean, only seeing each other a handful of times and making it to 11 years together, 7 years, almost 8 years of marriage.
Yeah.
Those are some good milestones to have.
Yeah, it's an accomplishment for sure. And it doesn't come with those difficulties and the trials and tribulations for sure. It's not all roses. I'm trash.
You're not trash.
No, I mean, we all have our issues. We all have our pitfalls and our shortcomings. And thankfully, there's grace, and thankfully, there's that continual forgiveness, like you said. So,
what would you say has been the hardest moment for you in our relationship?
Man, I would say probably living in a 600 square foot apartment
for 4 years.
Yeah, for 4 years.
For 4 years. Yeah.
Man, that was tough. If you want to find out if you really love somebody, live in a Cracker Jack box with that person. And I take up 200 square feet on my own, so it was very difficult living in that space. But I felt like it just kind of taught us how to just value and cherish our moments together.
Yeah.
It taught us to learn to be quick to forgive, like you were saying.
You can't go anywhere with 600 square feet.
Yeah, so. Exactly. You just got to get over it. You get mad at that person, you can't. It's not like you can go to the basement or something. I'm in the next room, so hello. I think that was probably the most difficult, along with just the tribulations of my mom passing. I think that's the most difficult thing I've dealt with in my entire life, bar none. And you were there for me more than anybody, and I'm grateful to have you. And I know my mom was grateful that I have you as well. Just the support that you are. So you guys are more alike than you ever know. So it's a beautiful thing for sure. But we wanted to try to keep this thing pretty short, but I did want to, before we wrap up, do a under further review special, and that is 2 for 68.
All right.
If you guys have watched in the past, 2 for 68 is a play on my number and Brandon's. 2 for Brandon, 68 for me, and it's basically 68 seconds of me running through some rapid fire questions, and the guest has to answer them as quickly as possible.
All
So
right.
I don't have a timer on me, so we're just gonna spitball it, and we'll see if we're close enough. So y'all let me know in the comments if we're way off or not. But we'll start right now. So first question: Tampa or Atlanta?
Tampa all day, every day.
Wow. Okay.
Yep.
Next question: Bucks or Rays?
The Bucks.
Arielle doesn't care about baseball, but her grandfather actually played in the Negro Leagues. Little known fact. Pretty cool.
Yeah, old guy.
Yeah. How would you describe yourself in one word?
I'm pretty loyal. I think you said it earlier when you were just rattling off a list of things. I would say loyal, but
Okay.
a lot of words I could say.
Okay. Tampa Tony or Kaya?
Tampa Tony. Tampa Tony.
Hey, if y'all ain't heard of Tampa Tony, don't look him up. Y'all ain't
Look him up.
missing nothing.
Tampa Tony is the greatest thing. He should have been the halftime performer at the Super Bowl.
Okay. I'm speechless. I don't even know what to say
Okay.
to that. And last question, Chris or Christopher? Which do you prefer as a name that you call me?
That's the most ridiculous question.
Hey, I ran out of questions, y'all. I'm trying to fill in time.
I guess Chris, because that's what I call you the most, but I like Christopher better.
Okay. Very nice. Well, you survived 2 for 68. You don't have any sweat beads on your head. I guess I didn't bring any real hard-hitting questions.
No
at all.
heat.
Yeah, but it definitely wound up working out pretty well because you're all the heat that we need.
So lame.
Hey, y'all see how I got this girl now. I got all the game. But
Oh, yeah.
yeah, but we are just so grateful that you guys came and checked us out on this special edition of Under Further Review. Arielle and I have been together 11 years as of today, and it gets sweeter with every year that goes by. I'm grateful for her so much, and one of our sayings in our marriage and in our relationship is no matter what. So no matter what, we're going to be together, and no matter what, we're going to love you guys as our subscribers, followers, and listeners. So please, if you're checking us out on YouTube, make sure you hit that subscribe button and the notification bell. Hit a like. Also, comment down below. What do you think the true definition of love is? Like, how would you describe it? We'd love to hear your thoughts. Thanks, y'all. We'll see you in the next one.
Happy Valentine's Day.
Happy Valentine's Day.